So good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew Mandicabusas, and we are the reporter of Chapter 4. So our topic is about drivers and participants of supply chain management. Next slide, please. So first is supply chain major drivers. So supply chain drivers are factors that influence the performance of a supply chain. It involves all activities that are related to production, delivery of goods, and even services. So there are five major drivers in supply chain, which is production, facility, inventory, information, and transportation. So we're gonna tackle about that now. So next slide, please. So here these are the following major drivers of the supply chain. First is we have production. So production is the making or manufacturing from components or raw materials into goods. So ang production we all know kanang the word production is maunang mubuhat gani mo manufacture sa mga goods gani no. And also sa planning involved sa din ang kanang sourcing, quality control, inventory management, sustainability, o appeal sa na siya sa production. Next one is inventory. So inventory kay mao ni siya ang asa na to mga stock stored ba. And also there are three categories sa inventory. Inventory involves managing the level of raw materials, work in progress, and finished products. Next one is facility, location or facility. So facility is the actual or physical location where the products are either produced, stored, or being held for distribution. This includes also mga factories, warehouses, and transportation hubs. So diha ibutang ang mga ang mga goods stored ba na diha or being held for distribution, like I said, no? So next slide, please. Next one is transportation. So transportation is the movement of product from one location to another. So by transportation, nasa na siya tulo, no? Like by air, land, or sea. Pwede sa na nato siya i-transport ng ana. And importante kaning transportation sa supply chain kay mao ni siya ang courier gani nga mo deliver sa atong mga items or products, no? And also kaning transportation apil diri ang kaning og sa arita sa land base na mao ni siya ang mga pwede mga truck, may nana, motor kanang mostly diri sa tuwa, no, like Flash Express, mga nana. And sa overseas like kanang eroplano pwede sad siya kanang ibarko. And also sa transportation importante sa kining naatay kanang sana kanang natay partnership ba o gusto gani nga courier nga nga company, like I said nga mga Flash Express inana unsa pa na diha no, JNT, LBC, mga inana mo na siya example of mga transportation nga company. So last one is information. So information mo ni siyang pinaka-importante sa major driver sa supply chain. It's because kay naa diha ang mga source. Information is the flow of information between different parts of the supply chain. So, in next slide lagod ko palihog. So makita ninyo no sa picture, this is what I said about the information. It is the best for making this decision. As you can see sa kaning graph na picture sa production, we will know what, how, and when to produce because of the information. If natay source gani no, natay saktong source makabaw ta gani ug unsa ba kanusa nato buhaton or reproduce mo na siya. Next one, inventory. We will know how much to make and how much to store sa inventory na to. And also para makontrol na to ang stocks gani na to sa inventory, we need information. Like di man kayo ang ato ang product makabaw ta og pila tong ibilin, i-store diha sa inventory na to. Next one is the location or facility. It is where best to do that activity. If we have the information, we will know asa nga lugar nindot maghimo or magbuhat og physical location gani nga duol la ba nga kanang dali ra gani siya makuan like ingon ana. And the last one is the transportation. This is how and when to move the product. As you can see kaning mo order ta sa kanang kuan like sa Shopee or mga TikTok shop, di ba makita na nato ang at ang gi-order og asa na ilang dapita na o kanang na-deliver na ba siya or wala pa. Makita siya sa kanang app. So mo na yung nakaimportante sa kuan information. Makabaw ta ba og asa na ato ang kuan product nga gi-order ingon na. So cycle na siya tanan. So kaning information importante gyud gani siya sa supply chain. So mao ta din akong report. Thank you. Next reporter please.
So, hello everyone. My name is Mark Wayne Coot, and I'm going to be discussing about the the 5 major drivers of supply chain. So, successful supply chain management calls for each driver and how they function to be understood. Each driver can influence the supply chain directly through allow for those capabilities. So right here we have a table of these 5 major drivers of supply chain, which are we have here production, inventory, location, transportation, and information. So right beside here na makita na to ilang kuan, it's responsiveness and efficiency. So responsiveness when we say kuan from the word itself kanang respond like na siya ability to kuan kanang to quickly adapt in situations. Kabaw sila mo kabaw siya mo respond like na efficiency, so we already know what kuan sa no murag yeah, efficient na. So starting off kaning kuan sa production, we have here the excess capacity. So when we say excess, no, sobra. So sobra ang capacity sa inyong production. So beneficial po ni siya sa kaning it allows production lines to quickly react or adapt to changes in consumer demands. So unsa man yung mga consumer demands? So let's say for example, kanang you have a factory that can produce 1,000 units of like product per day, but your current demand is only 800 units. So back to I was saying about sa excess capacity. So ang excess capacity ana niya sa katong gingon ako nga 1,000 units and then your current demand is 800 units. Ang sobra ana niya mao ni matawag nga kuan excess capacity, which is katong 200 units. So nice po siya no kay if ever na lang like if ever na kay ka ng mga unwanted situations ba such as kanang pagkatungingon ako nga sudden change of consumer demands. Mapangitaan na dahil siya bahagi by producing ra food since napamay sobra capacity sa production. So next is the under the efficiency, which is the no excess capacity. So unlike sa excess capacity, no excess capacity is sakto ra jud no walay sobra. Para sa gingon ako nga example nga katong sa iyang 1,000 units na siya kanang ang nabuhat nila is 800 units, which is napa sila sobra nga 200 units. So ang naka-efficient po rin niya is walay sobra, which is makasave jud imong production industry or factory or sa ito kanang factories lang makasave imong factories og like imong mga time, your the maintenance, mga money, and also energy na. Pero nasa ni siya ka na murag risk. Okay, risky po ni siya kay what if sa imong capacity nga sakto ra jud kayo, what if may tabo tong katong may sudden change of market or like customer change of customer demands, di ba? So maglisod jud. So next is the flexible manufacturing. So when we say flexible, no, can withstand any situations or adapt quickly. So flexible manufacturing has the ability to quickly adapt any changes or situations sa product. So with this, flexible manufacturing systems can quickly switch between different products or variants or like lain yang versions. Like for example, if you're like if you're making shoes, you could easily switch from sneakers to sandals. So this happens no kay para sa kanang kuan, may tabo jud ni ang katong gingon ako class nga karon. May tabo jud ni ang sudden changes sa consumer demands or ang market. So maong beneficial sa jud ni kuan being flexible and manufacturing. Next is the under the efficiency na said narrow product focus. So narrow product focus no this only concentrates only on limited items in which makasimplify na siya sa operations sa productions or reduces complexity or in other words complications no. Since nag-focus naman dyan siya sa one limited items na lang let's say kanang for example para mas masabtan kaning kuan sa diri sa Cebu H&M kuan man na kanang di ba sikat na jud na siya nga brand ang efficient supply chain nila ana is nag-focus na jud sa fashion items. So tungod ani mas mupaspas ila production and deliveries as well. Nana. So next of the supply chain drivers no. I mean kuanday wala pa day. We have here the many smaller plants pa day. So many smaller plants dili kuana kanang this plant doesn't mean kanang mga tanom. So mani kaning kuan mga planta no mga let's say mga factories mga nana mani pasabot sa mga plants. So in many smaller plants, no, instead of relying on a single large factory, some supply chains use multiple smaller plants distributed across different locations. Mauna under po ni siya sa responsiveness kay masolusyonan naman I mean masolusyonan na dapat dayon if ever ang usa ka plant kay nagumpa or like say nasunog or like kanang dili magamitan ang kaning planta naralay kuan magpadayon gyud po na ilang production na kay kanang may murag lain nga planta nga magpadayon ra gyud silang productions kay daghan biya. So next is the few large plants. So ang naka-advantage po ning kuano kaning large plants kay makaproduce na sila kanang mga dinagko nga productions. Nya uniform ra budget ang process no kay since high tech man mostly ang kaning mga large plants kay uh, and if kuan kato if kanang mga since high-tech man sila, nya murag uniform ra sa ang process sa ilang pag-produce. Makasave jud sila time no, time and effort. Maong efficient ra pa jud. So moving on sa kuan ano, ari na ta sa inventory. The second supply chain driver. So if you have high inventory levels, na kay enough stock no to meet a customer's needs without any delays. Whereas sa kaning low inventory levels, you can avoid you can avoid overstocking if you have low inventory level and easier to manage like easier to manage pud siya kay not only that no kay efficient pud siya kay makadakog hawan sa imong inventory and uh you have here the ano said the wide range of items. So a wide range of items benefits your business by attracting customers, boosting loyalty and increasing revenue. So kado murag imagine lang na, imagine let's say for example, nakay ka ng kuan, clothing store. No na kanang clothing store kay murag na maligya ka na mga t-shirt. And also ay not only t-shirt, like murag na kay mga hoodies, mga jeans and dresses. So man pasabot sa kanang murag wide range of items like dagan kag kapilian. If dagan kag mapilian nga mga items nya sa imong shop, imagine maka-attract sa mga mostly sa mga kuan mga tao kay they said, variety attracts more shoppers. So next one is the narrow range of items. So nana sa taning narrow no kanang so which means kanang focus yun sila sa kaning item. So when you focus on a limited range of items, of course it becomes easier to manage the inventory since iskot na matag inventory diri sa kuan sa iyang supply chain driver. So next one is the location. Many locations close to customers. So being close to customers, no, increases sales. Like when your store or office is nearby, people find it convenient to visit. Like for example, kanang nasa kuan, IT park, magtukod ka dira kuan sa IT park kanang coffee shop. Kay kaning sa IT park, mostly ang mga customers should gani mo ni diri kanang kanang mga employees which are like mostly mga kuan, mga BPO. In which kana sila murag nangilan na jud na sila mga kuan kay na jud ba nila no kanang mag-graveyard shift. In which kanang ganahan sila kanang something nga makapa kuan makapa mata nila ba makapadayon sa ilang trabaho. So, what you gonna do is magtukod ka business dito in which mag imong itukuran kay kanang mga coffee shop which very kuan sad convenient sa ilaha kay tuol ra ba nya palitan ra dayon. So that's why it is like beneficial na pud siya sa kaning responsiveness. Next is the few central location serve wide areas. So this is kung ano, this refers to having only a small number of key places where a company or industries operates or provides services. So kung ano, instead of spreading out everywhere, like magpatagan sila mga branch, kay they only concentrate their efforts in just a few central hubs. So money can a few central locations. So one of which, ang example ano no kay kana ang Ayala. Ayala is one of Cebu's central locations. So we have here now the the fourth supply chain drivers, which is the transportation at that. So in transportation, we have here the frequent small shipments. So frequent these small shipments no allow for faster movement of goods. Like when a customer orders something, the company can ship it promptly. So the next is the few large shipments. So handling fewer large shipments simplifies logistics. It's easier to load, unload, and track no kanang ma-track ra dayon. So example ani no kay kanang mga cargo ships, mga dagko kay ba, mga pinabulk ang pag-ship gani. So what makes this efficient kay is less na ang handling ani during loading and unloading sa mga shipments kumpara sa kuan kaning frequent small shipments no so para ng small shipments nga murag tagsa-tagsaon pa in which takes more like ano mga takes more time and effort. So we have there the kuan sa the fast and flexible modes. So these kuan fast and flexible modes murag i-discuss ko ni ang kaning kasi pasabutan ng fast modes o flexible modes. So these modes of means the modes of how the goods no are how being delivered quickly or flexible. So starting off sa ari sa ta sa fast no. So sa fast you can have kuan fast modes mao ni ang murag kuan example sa ni kay let's say kanang mga planes, mga aircrafts. So no sa kuan maong na tawag sa ni siya nga murag fast mode kay anga sa kuan mo makalupad ra man sila. Nya wala ra bay ka ng kuan sa taas ka wala jay traffic, wala ka nang murag interruptions ng tabok. So, mao makapapas-pasan siya. Nya, sa flexible pod, kaning flexible modes, mao ni siya ang kaning mga kuan, mga trucks. Okay, at sa trucks, makaadto ra man pod sila kanang mga kalsada, mga so ni mga remote areas, minana. Nya, kani siya kay bali final process na ni siya sa pag-shape no kay kaning fast and flexible modes bali makumbine na jud sila sa kuan pag shipment kani silang duha. Kaya ang una jud ba mo kuan na may tabo like if ever ka lang nakay kuan nakay shipment international nga shipment mag-agi jud ba nagkuan fast mode which is ang aircrafts. So after nang kuan ma-ship na imong mga products in which nasa aircraft so gato na nagyapon sila og mga trucks which is kani mga trucks mao to ang mga flexible modes. So mao nakaingon ko nga murag final process na ni ang mga trucks kay murag sila naman sa murag kinalasa jud mo dawat ana nga mga products. in which kaning mga products ila na sila kuan ila ipa-deliver dito sa kanang murag unsa ilang destination, no. So next one is the slower and cheap modes. So unlike sa kuan, no, kanang fast and flexible nasa diri kuan kanang slower. So slower modes mao ni ang mga kuan examples kaning mga ships, no? Kay kaning mga ships atong makita jud karon kay kanang mga cargo, di ba? Mag kuan sila mga cargo. Ah in which kanisang pag ship nila into cargos, this allows company to move kanang mga products in larger batches, which is very efficient. Though, kuan siya, though slow jud siya, no? Kanang slow jud ang pagkuanan niya, pag deliver, pero at least cheap. Okay, kuan sa lagi. Right here, slower and cheaper modes na. Moving on, have here the final na sad nga kuan, the information. So, we have here the collect and share timely and accurate data. So kaning mga timely and accurate data kay mao ning mga motrack og shipments, maka-monitor og mga inventory levels or even kanang unsay status sa transportations. Gamit po di siya, no, kay maka-monitor kas kanang for example imong shipments if kanus maabot or like maka-respond ra dayon ka sa kanang pagtabang sa mga if ever na delays or disruptions. Ana. And finally, the next one is the cost of information drops while other costs rise. So what does this mean? The decreasing cost of information allows companies to make efficient decisions, while other rising costs. So what are these rising costs? Money ang mga kuan, mga shipping cost ninyo, mga tracking cost, mga infrastructure cost, og mga labors, mga nana, etc. And then kaning mga kuan siya, kaning mga uh, rising costs nanginahanglan po ni sila mga tarong nga pag-manage para to maintain na po a responsive supply chain. And that ends my report. So thank you for listening. Next reporter, please.
So thank you, Mr. Buot. So now I will introduce myself first. So I am Cherry Ann Boro, and I am the third reporter. So my topic is all about participants in supply chain management. So here are the participants in supply chain. So the first is producers, producers to distributors, and then distributors to retailers, then retailers to customers, and customers to ultimate customer, which is also they provide service provider. So a supply chain in its basic sense is made up of a company and its suppliers and consumers. This is the basic collection of participants that make up a simple supply chain. So we proceed to the first participants in supply chain. So the first one is the producers. So manufacturers or producers are companies producing a commodity. So when we say a commodity is it is a raw materials that can be bought and can be sold. So producers are also responsible for making or creating a product. So there are two classification of products. So the first one is the raw products and the other side is the finished product. So when we talk about raw products, those are woods, mga gas, oil, lumber, and many more. So in the other side, sa finished product, those are mga sakyanan, soap, clothing, and also mga smartphones. And the next participants is the distributors. So distributors are companies that take stock of producers in bulk and provide customers with a package of related product lines. So they are the companies nga mukuha og stock sa mga producers nga kanang bitong binulto. So sila ang mo-supply sa goods and products sa mga stores, sa mga business and even hotels para mabaligya sa customers. So since I have been working at the One Central Hotel during my OJT, so ang kanang mga products or goods nga gipang deliver sa hotel, they considered as the distributor since sila may ga-supply sa mga goods and products sa hotel. So the third participants is the retailers. So Retailers store products and distribute them in limited amounts to the general public. So this company often actively monitors the needs and demands of the consumers to which it offers. It advertises to its consumers and often uses a mix of price, product range, service, and comfort as the primary appeal to gain customers for the goods it offers. So sila na ang mobaligya sa mga direct customers. So I have for example, I have a friend of mine nga babae nga mupalit siya og binuto nga mga clothing. So tungod sa kahalin og nindot ang mga sanina since branded man sad siya, nasa gray isa ka kaila nga miingon niya nga mo-avail or mo-try siya palit sa iyang product para daw sad maka-income siya, in which is makonsidered nato siya as a retailer. Kay siya man ang nipalit sa distributor, in which siya ang mobaligya sa iyang mga customer. So ang babae makonsider sad nato siya nga distributor kay siya man ang ga-supply og mga products sa katong kailan ako nga laki. So the next one is the customers. So customers, any company that buys and consumes a commodity, is referred to as a buyer or a client. A consumer company may buy a product to integrate it into another product that it will market to other customers. Alternatively, a buyer may be the actual end consumer of a commodity that orders it to use it. So, kung kinsa ang mupalit sa commodity sa specific na company, makonsider sad nato siya nga customer. Even yourself, you considered yourself as a customer in which mupalit tag mga products sa lain-lain nga mga stores. So the last participant is the service provider. So some companies provide services to manufacturers, dealers, suppliers, and consumers. Service providers have established advanced experience and capabilities that are based on a specific task requested by a supply chain. So as a sequence, they will deliver those resources more efficiently and at a reduced expense than manufacturers, dealers, merchants, or customers, or may it be on their own. So from the word service providers, they provide services to have an efficient and effective product service. So for example, transportation, as what Mr. Cabusa said, na ay mga lain-lain nga mga transportations nga katong mga airlines or barko. So usa na siya sa ginatawag nato nga service providers. So ang isa na is logistics. So the logistics deals with efficient flow of goods and products. So kabantay mo anang sa Shopee or sa Shein nga app nga na ay makabutang nga logistics. So ang logistics they are responsible to track your products if you receive it already or wala pa. Sila sad ang mo-monitor if asa na ba na nakalocate ang imuhang products. And also, ang logistics, maka-identify sad siya kung kinsa ang distributor o kinsa ang receiver or the customer. So, that's all for my report. Next reporter, please.
My name is Jude Adrian Cabardo and I'm the fourth reporter. My topic is aligning the supply chain with business strategy. Please go ahead. The supply chain is crucial for an organization approach to markets and must adapt to industry demands while supporting its corporate plan. It should balance responsiveness and efficiency based on consumer demands. A business with an efficient supply chain wins market share, while optimizing cost and inventory may compromise lead times. Flexibility and risk. Aligning supply chain with business strategy requires 6 steps. So, supply chain is important sa mga company for them to know kung saan pag-approach sa market o ang ilang customer. So, need ni siya mo fit gyud sa ug unsa ang plan sa company nagsugod ang plano sa kumpanya sa gusto sa mga customer nga ilang lagaran o plano. Ang company nga iyang supply chain kay maka-answer sa gusto sa mga customer sa mas maayo mahimo ni nilang competitive advantage sa market. So dili pwede magplan sa supply chain nga lahi ang plan or goals sa company. Please go next. So step 1 kay define and communicate a clear corporate strategy. Supply chain companies often fail when they lack partners. Proper strategy must consider consumer requirements and competition factors. Corporate planning should establish, target, and differentiate the company from rivals, ensuring it is communicated carefully and repeatedly. So sa kaning first step kay dapat makabahagi sila if kinsa ang ilang partner para in order for them to gain a competitive advantage sa market in choosing a good partner. Para sa company, it help them to learn about their competitors and dapat ang plan sa nila is ma-communicate good properly para sa walay mix up or miscommunication para on the same page sila tanan. Nya step 2 kay identify the areas of corporate strategy that are enabled by supply chain. The organization must connect corporate priorities with supply chain success, determine the success of their central expertise, and determine whether to in-house or outsource tasks. So, sa step 2 kay need makabaw sila og asa dapit ang ilang plan and maapektuhan ang ilang supply chain. So, this move is particularly important kay sa pag-decide whether to do anything in-house or outsource it para makabaw sila unsa na move ilang buhaton. Na step 3 kay align supply chain performance metrics with the corporate strategy. The assumption that standard supply chain efficiency metrics are optimal is problematic as it overlook and lack absolute in competitive strategy. Goals can be developed based on rivals result and performance monitoring is not avoided. So sa step 3 kay gi-emphasize nga important sa aligning supply chain performance metric with corporate strategy nga misconception about sa standard supply chain efficiency nga need ma-recognize trade-off sa pag-optimize sa multiple targets nga gisuggest nga ang goals kay dapat i-develop based on result relative to competitors. Ang adjustment may be necessary to refine na new targets nga without sacrificing performance or delivery monitoring. Please go next slide. And step 4 is structure your supply chain to optimize the strategic goals. The company considered supply chain design elements like network, location, supplier range, inventory, strategy, and operational structure for cost effectiveness, reliability, and responsiveness. So sa step 4 kay ang important sa supply chain to align with strategic goals kay outline key elements sa supply chain design sa as naadiri nga network, location, supplier range, inventory, strategy, and operational structure. Nya it highlights the organizational capabilities o skill sets nga need to adapt accordingly para support sa chosen supply chain structure. Next kay step 5, align incentives end-to-end. Internal performance review and bonus system should align with developed metrics. Balance supplier incentives with business needs and consider channel and market control. Develop a standard operating procedure to align distribution and marketing targets with supply chain goal, preventing surplus inventory. So sa step 5 kay ang importance sa aligning incentive throughout the supply chain kay gi-emphasize nga internal performance evaluation and bonus structure kay dapat be in line with established metrics. So gisuggest siya sa pag-balancing supplier incentives with business needs and integrating channel o market control into supply chain and consideration. Nya also kay establishing sa standard operating procedure para ma-ensure distributions and marketing targets para ma-align with supply chain goals para avoid issues such as inventory mismanagement and surplus. And last step kay keep refreshing the strategy alignment process. Businesses often have 1 or 3 year strategic preparation period, but some may go decades without realigning their supply chain strategy, requiring scheduling supply chain management with the rest of their preparation. So sa last step kay it is important na continue sa refresh sa supply chain strategy and alignment process kay uban nga business nga strategic planning period sa 1 to 3 years na suggest nga some company kay neglect to realign sa ang ilang supply chain strategy sa pila ka decade nya also need to synchronize supply chain management planning with border business preparation effort para ma-ensure ongoing alignment and relevance. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Jude. And that would be our report, Miss. Thank you.